Are 6 Sauers worth the money? These amazing firearms, from their pistols and rifles and all the other products they make. We're going to talk about that in this video. My name is Tom, your friend and host with Weapons Education. I enjoy talking to all of you American patriots. And this is a tall question, because when you spend your hard-earned money on a product, it's my job here, when we're talking about weapons, as Weapons Education, it's my job to let you know if a product's worth the money or not. Now, at the end of the video, I'll give you my straightforward answer, and I think you'll realize I'm leaning towards yes. But let's talk about a couple of things. First of all, what you're looking at is I grabbed a few pistols, one rifle out of the collection. In this video, we're going to zoom in on each one of them close, and I'll give you a brief description and the history of it in my collection. Let's start off the video with this. We're talking about 6 Sauer, a company that, well, when I started my channel in 11, I'll say it like this, and I started going to SHOT Show in 11 and 12 and 13, and every year since, I've seen this company grow to be a global defense contract company, massive. They have won multiple military contracts I'll mention in the video, and in particular in the last 12 years or so, they've really skyrocketed and taken over the industry because of their quality products. The company not only makes pistols, as we know, and rifles and suppressors, they make ammo, they make scopes. They have their own training facility, one of the biggest in the world, the 6 Sauer Academy, which I've got hundreds of hours of personal training there. I've taken multiple groups up to 6 Sauer Academy as a host of Weapons Education. I was very proud to do that, and we really learned a lot. Those fortunate people who went during that 5-day event, because the 6 Sauer Academy does not do 5-day events, but they did for me. And I went up there, I got to know the people in person, I got to see the warehouse, how they make the firearms, and I got to see the interaction between the employees, the gunsmiths, the customers, the people shooting at the range, and how they put all this quality into their firearms. I've seen it firsthand. I've flown back to Exeter, New Hampshire multiple times, and I've hosted many groups with over a dozen in each group for 1-week special events. I'll try to do that again in the future, but 6 Sauer has gotten so large, and they have so many military contracts. As a matter of fact, the last time I was there a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago at the time of this video, I won't mention the country, but they had a whole country's military there training at the 6 Sauer Academy. It's that huge, the facility. So with that said, what they've went out to accomplish just a dozen years ago until today, the upper echelons told me, they said, Tom, this is our business goal. This is what we're going to do over the next decade. We're not only going to make pistols, we're not only going to make rifles, we want to make suppressors. We want to make the ammo. As you know, 6 Sauer ammo is recognized as among the best there is in the world. Scopes, they get their glass from a relationship, from what I'm told, from, if I pronounce this correctly, Shavatsky, you know, the crystal glass company. And it's really super high-end glass, not only for night vision, but also for thermal, and they're red dots, so they've really got high quality scopes, which I can get, by the way, for you. If you call one of my stores called Armory Express Outlet, 954-804-4381, any Sig Sauer type of scope, red dot, thermo, night vision that you're looking for, you want to call me at that number I just mentioned, 954-804-4381. So this company went from really just a dozen years ago, a pretty big company, but nothing like what they are today. As they've grown, now they are ruling the world with their 6.8 by 51 new round they developed in what is called the MCX Spear, and there's multiple names for their carbines now, and their semi-automatics and their fully automatic machine guns that militaries across the world are adopting, and the United States has adopted. So that's going to be the new hottest round, is the 6.8 by 51, and I've done a video on that. And then there's SIG 320. As you know, they have the, I'm going by memory, the 17 and the 18, which has been adopted by multiple different military sections of the United States military as their sidearms. So with that said, yes, all right, I'll say it now. Yes, they're worth the money. They are super high quality. Now I'm going to sit down and point out to you what's on the table, close up in my hand, and keep elaborating on the company, Sig Sauer. And I would like you to throw in your comments, such as, what Sig Sauer do you own? Which one do you want to own? Now listen, folks, guys, gals, I have a large collection. I've got a lot of them. I can't say all, but I've got all the Glocks and FNs and HKs, Smith & Wessons. I've got them all for specific reasons. I've got the Smith & Wessons. I love their revolvers. And I've got the Rugers. I love their Super Red Hawk Alaskan revolver. And their 22s. And I've got different gun manufacturers for different reasons. I've got the HK because I love the recoil on their 45. But I tell you, the Sig Sauer family of products now, I can say, not just their pistols and weapons, but all the things they make, from ammo and scopes and everything else I mentioned, is super high-end, high quality, and will last your lifetime and your beneficiaries. Let me sit down now and talk about each pistol, and just keep, as friends here together, let's just talk about, in your mind, think of your pistol and put your comment in. You probably own a SIG, or maybe you want a SIG, or maybe you don't want a SIG. Let's just talk about all these things, and let's go to the next segment right now. Thank you. Let's talk about some of the weapons on the table. This happens to be my very first rifle I purchased from Sig Sauer, and it's got, I don't know how many rounds, at least 8 to 10,000, and it's been very, very reliable. This is called the Sig Sauer Classic. It's got a folding stock right here, so if I wanted it to be a pistol system, I could do that, but I keep the stock open, or I can close it for putting it over my shoulder, which is nice. But this Sig Sauer Classic really has been the rifle that got me into getting all the other Sig Sauer rifles that I have. What's up here is what's called the Romeo 6T, this red dot, which you can no longer purchase anymore because, they changed their names. But it's really an awesome red dot, and they've even gotten better. This one's about 8 years old. And like I said, if you need red dots, anything thermal and all that stuff that 6 Sauer makes, I can get them for you. I gave you the phone number before. It's on the screen right now. This here is something else they make. This forward grip is a light and laser. Okay, I forget the model number of this, but if you really want it, I could respond to your comment. And I don't think they make this anymore, but I'm sure they make something similar. And this I love. I have this on all of my rifles. This exact, it was pricey. It was $400 or $500 for that. Now let's look at some of these pistols. Let's start here on the left and then just go to the right. My buddy Josh is here. Josh, thank you. And this right here, how we zoomed in, pretty good, nice. This is a SIG P226. Thumbs up, guys. Thumb up the video. Thumb up SIG P226. This is the elite, and that's what I'm trying to say. Is 6 Sauer worth the money? With the finish on this pistol, and I've done individual reviews on all of these pistols in detail. It's just like silk. The wood grips. For instance, please zoom in here. There's no way you can see the split in the wood in the back. It's just that beautiful. And I have an extended mag in here. This one is chambered in 357 SIG. Now I got a tip to tell you about the 320 here in a moment and their calibers, so watch the whole video. This is the 1911 I have from SIG, and this is full stainless. Of all my 1911s, I always put this in the top 10 because it's so reliable. I didn't have to shoot this 100 rounds to avoid a malfunction. I didn't have to shoot it even a box of 20. It just always works. And that's what you want. And I do use Wilson Combat mags in my 1911s. So, yeah, it's worth the money. I forget what I paid for these. Maybe at the time this was $1,200. I don't remember. Look at this one here. Zoom in here, please. This is the 6 Sauer. Who owns a 220? Anyone out there? Come on, thumb up the video. We know the 220. Let's look at the back. First, zoom in on that slide. This is called the Equinox, and what I like about this is at night, especially like a full moon or something, it's really cool if you're out plinking around, out and about in the woods somewhere. It won't shine, it won't glare, and it's like a flat finish. Or if you're in the sunlight, it won't shine, and it won't glare. It's got this special, that's what they call it, the Equinox, I guess. Really beautiful, and the grips, everything is first class. I'm not going to get into the trigger pulls and all that. That's all in the individual reviews of these pistols. But 6 Sauers, they are worth the money. Look at the back of that grip. It's just so beautiful. Just so perfect. And this one's got a decocker. So when you buy a pistol, they have all these different options and variants. Look at all those different options and variants and go through my channel and learn about different options and variants, like decockers, if you wanted single action, double action, this, that, and the other. You need to learn all that about pistols before you purchase one. But at least you know when you're getting a SIG, you're getting something that will last your lifetime. Now this one here is the very first SIG I purchased. And I remember this week, when I first got into shooting, I purchased the Smith 686 6-inch, which is still in the collection. I purchased, like 5 days later, a Colt Delta Elite 10 millimeter. And that's what got me into the 10 millimeters. I'm like, oh boy, what a round this is. Forget the 45s. I love the 45s, but like, geez, that 10 millimeter. And then I went to a shop and I said, who is this company? This is way back, like 30 years ago or something. Who is this 6 Sauer? I never heard of them. He goes, oh, they're a new and upcoming company. They make good stuff. This one's made in Germany. It says it right there on the slide. And this P232, oh gosh, 380. What a wonderful, wonderful pistol this has been to me. This is something you can't part with when you get something of this high quality. As we move to the right, that's a 238 and 380 in rainbow. One of you joked in the comments, just coincidentally yesterday, and said, this gentleman owns 4 of these P238s. They must be good, quote unquote. Well, they are, and that's why I do have 4 different ones. Plus, my wife likes to shoot it also. So they make the 938 and 9 millimeter also. Now, I'm going to pull this over here to be center stage because this is their 320. Please zoom in real close here, and I have to tell you something about this. The 320 has a new military contract a few years ago. We all know that by now. The sidearm for the Army, and it's just going gangbusters. Their #1 seller for 6 Sauer. And what I found out just today is they are only focusing from here forward on the 9 millimeters. Now, I'm not saying at the time of this video that you can't, like, this is a 357 SIG. According to the website today, they're only focusing on 9 millimeters. I went to pretend I was buying a 357 SIG 320 today. $1,200 on one of the online auctions. $1,200. I paid, I forget, like $750 for this. Now the 10 millimeter just came out not too long ago before the recording of this video, and they're not really focusing on that either. So you may want to try to scoop those up because they're going to go up in value. So that's to me, the 320 is one of the best pistols ever designed, and it's a little disturbing, disappointing, I must say, that they're only focusing on one caliber from here going forward, according to what I've seen on their website today. So throw in your comments on that. I haven't made any phone calls yet, but from the knowledge on their website, it looks like they're just focusing on the 9 millimeter with the 320. Of course, they have other types of pistols that will have different calibers, but generally all around they're looking at going towards 9 millimeter, which is a little disturbing because there are other calibers which are also, the 9 millimeter is awesome, but the 10 millimeter is super awesome. 357 SIG is super awesome, and I'd like to see this continue to be made in those calibers, and we'll see if they come back to start making them again. But I believe they're slowing down on the focus of other calibers, except on the 320, except for the 9 millimeter. And I'm just not one caliber fanboy. I like all the different calibers for different reasons. My name's Tom, the host of Weapons Education, and throw in your comments about 6 Sauer. Do you think they're worth the money? They are. We know they're worth the money because you're not going to get a failure. This 320, not this one, but when I shot up at the 6 Sauer Academy, chambered in 9, I put 2,000, maybe 2,200 rounds through 10 days straight. Oh my gosh, I was exhausted after that 2 weeks, but not one failure, I promise. In my mother's name, my father's name, not one failure. And I was really pushing it hard. And when you hear the term pushing it hard with a pistol, when you're shooting steel, that means like trying to beat a pack time or trying to win a competition. So I was really pulling that trigger and working the gun hard. Never got a failure out of the 320. So yes, the 6 Sauers are worth the money. I threw in some other tidbits in there about the company. They're doing a lot with their rifles. Let's take a look at the rifle again. I want to reiterate, the 6.8 by 51 is the new rifle of choice going forward. The 5.56 will be a thing of the past. Mark my words. There's some videos out there online about it. When you see the 6.8 by 51 in full auto, and the barrels do not burn. And there's multiple reasons why. I have to do that in a different video. When you're buying a rifle, that's one thing you want to look at, and a pistol, is the quality of the barrels. Okay, my name is Tom with Weapons Education. You will get a good quality barrel at 6 Sauer. Thank you so much. Please thumb up the video, share it with a friend, as you know, it's tough being a gun channel these days. But I know I have my unique friends and followers who always thumb up the video and watch it through, and that's why I keep going for you guys, and maybe we can get a few more people to join in. Thank you so much, and God bless all of you. Bye bye.